Yes, good morning to everyone. If you can recall, in a last lecture, we had just introduced the chapter, chapter number 5, Principles of Inheritance and Variations. In that, particularly, we had studied about father of genetics, John Gregor Mendel. Before I go in details, just a recap. We have studied that genetics it's a branch of science that deals with the study of two aspects in organisms. One is inheritance, and another one is variations. Somebody who, in a way, laid the foundation for this branch of science, John Gregor Mendel, is known as father of this branch named as genetics. So, father of genetics. Point number two. Point number two. The term genetics was coined by William Bateson in the year 1905. Now you imagine this thing that 1856 to 63 is the period in which Mendel had worked. Of course, he died in the year 1884, and his work got rediscovered in the year 1900. Then, after the branch was established with the name genetics. So the term genetics came much later to his death, even. Forget about his work. After his death in 1884, almost 20 years then after the branch was established. And yet, in his absence, because of his work, he was recognized as a father of this branch called genetics. So very important aspect. One needs to understand this thing. One another related term with this science, and that is called gene. This term was coined by Wilhelm Johnson. That was in the year 1909, I think. That was the period in which the term gene was coined. So, with this background, we can start our work, the study of Mendelian genetics. See, genetics can be classified into categories such as classical genetics, that is called Mendelian genetics, and post Mendelian era genetics, that is also there. So, let us first try and understand what Mendel had done. Now, before we go in detail of his experiments and understand the uh, work performed by the Mendel, let us get the idea what he wanted to do. He wanted to actually understand the inheritance phenomenon. Just confirmation. Are you all able to hear properly? Am I audible clearly? That's great. So he wanted to understand the phenomenon of heredity or inheritance, the one in which characters get transmitted from parents to offspring's generation. It was not that he was the first one to try and study this thing. Few scientists before him also had tried the same work. Same in the sense, they also made attempts to study the inheritance. But they failed. They failed in understanding that how characters get transmitted. A term I am coining, character. But Mendel was lucky enough to understand this thing. So we should know what are the factors on the side of Mendel who favored him, who enabled him to understand the inheritance well than the other scientist. So for that, first of all, to understand his experiment, two terms we need to understand. These two terms are like this. He studied the characters in the living organisms and their expressions to study the inheritance phenomena. My first question to all of you is, what are characters? In terms of living organisms, in context of living organisms. When you say characters, what do we mean by that? What are characters for the living beings, living organisms? Tanvi is writing physical appearance. Mm, okay. Something else? Attributes of the body. Now that is very good reply from Swati Panda. Yes, the attributes of your body, attributes of the body of an organism. The features of the body of an organism are considered as characters. They are known as characters. Your height is your character. Color of your skin is your character. You see, these are the different characters. The capacity of giving milk by the cattle is a character. The amount of meat produced by the cattle is a character. The amount of yield obtained from the crop is a character. Some characters are quantitative, some are qualitative, but these are characters of the organism. So note down the definition for a character. Any attribute oblique feature of the organism's body is considered as its character. Any attribute oblique feature of the body of an organism is its character. Acha, there is another term that is called expression. Expression of a character, or in short, you may call it as a trait. Does anyone know the meaning of the term trait oblique expression? Yes, anyone aware of this meaning of this term trait? See, what we inherit is a character. In that, what is a trait? I think Hitat and Dhrutisha are pointing out towards the key terms, the variations within the character. That is more appropriate. Let us understand with an example. Trait means the way in which the character is exhibited or expressed in the body. Let me give you an example. Height is a character. Height is a character. Either organism can be tall or short. Those are its expressions. I hope you have understood now. Height is a character. You may be tall, you may be short. It is a height. So that is a character. The variations which are available in the expression of this character are known as its traits. Similarly, another example I can give you, the skin color. You may have a fair skin, you may have a whitish skin, you may have a dark skin. Those are its traits. Production of milk, that is a character. Production of a milk in a higher quantity or in a lower quantity are the traits. Color of the flower is a character. To have a pink flower, yellow flower, red flower are its traits. So, have you all understood what is a trait? It's the way in which the character is exhibited in the organism. अगर आपको ये दो टर्म्स में क्लैरिटी मिल जाता है, if you are clear regarding these two terms, character and trait, it will be great to understand the remaining topic, the hybridization experiments. See, color of the fruit is a character. Let's say in an apple, color of the fruit is a character. Somewhere it might be a red color, somewhere it might be a green color. Those are its traits. I hope the terms characters and traits are clear to you. An attribute or a feature of an organism is considered as a character, whereas the way in which the character is expressed, it is known as its trait. Now, you need an organism on which you will perform experiments to understand the inheritance, isn't it? That organism selected by Mendel, it was a pea plant. What's the scientific name of the pea plant? The genus and species point of view, scientific name. Krisha is correct. Pisum sativum. That's correct. Pisum, piscum nahi. Spelling mein mistake hai. Many of you are committing mistake in that. Pisum sativum. That is the scientific name. Pisum is the genus. Sativum is the species. As in when you write down, should be capital P, small s, to be underlined if you write down in a notebook. What is the common name of the organism? Pisum sativum is is a scientific name of which plant? Common name of that plant? Hitarth Maliwad is the one giving correct answers most of the time. Garden pea. Hitarth, well done. Garden pea is the name of this plant. There are some interesting features of this plant which contributed a lot in success of Mendel's work. I mean, had Mendel selected some other plant, he may not have been successful in interpretation of inheritance patterns. So we should give credit to even a pea plant in success of Mendel's work. So I am dictating the points you may note down in your notebook. Special features of pea plant, which helped a lot to Mendel in his experimental work and his success. Number one, it's a bisexual flower carrying plant, a plant which is having bisexual flowers. Point number one. I'm sure you are noting down the points. So point number one, the pea plant, garden pea plant has a bisexual flowers. When there is a bisexuality of a flower, you are left with two choices open available. Either the same plant and its flower can be used as a male plant, or you can use it as a female, so that both the avenues remain open. That's a facility that is being offered by the pea plant. Number one, naturally it prefers self-fertilization. I hope you understand the meaning of the term self-pollination and self-fertilization. Pollen released from the flower reach to the stigma of own flower, same flower, that is a self-pollination, self-fertilization. Pea plant has a natural preference of self-fertilization. Interestingly, if you intervene, then through artificial means, it can also carry out which process? Cross fertilization. Interesting one, isn't it? When you want, the plant will carry out self fertilization, and when you want, you can interfere and you can make it to go for which fertilization? Cross. You know, when a plant is offering both these facilities, which are needed actually in the experiment, soon you will see that in Mendel's experimental method, at some stage, plant has to carry out cross fertilization, and at the other stage, the plants will have to carry out self fertilization. There, this plant is very important. The same plant can carry out cross as well as self fertilization as per the need of the experiment. Highly controlled reproduction in this plant. Are you writing or not? I'm dictating these points, important points on the part of the garden P oblique Pisum sativum, which helped a lot to Mandel. So those organisms which have a very short life cycle, within that they reach to their next generation. So you can study several generations in a short career of scientist life. देखो, अगर ह्यूमन में ऐसा स्टडी करना है इनहेरिटेंस का, तो आप पेरेंट्स में से नेक्स्ट जनरेशन देखने में 2 या 3 जनरेशन को ऑब्जर्व करने में आपकी एज अ साइंटिस्ट पूरी लाइफ चली जाएगी. Whereas here, within 2-3 years, you can study 5-6 different generations of the same organism. So it is better to have an organism with a very short life where multiple generations can be studied to understand inheritance. How many are clear with this fourth point? Benefit of its short lifespan. Okay, at least 2-3 have pointed out. Yes, they are showing another trait. Madam, is there any difficulty in recording activity?
हाँ सर, नेटवर्क इश्यूज हैं.
Okay. Can we switch over to any other mode of recording, or it is the only one available now?
And it is only one, sir.
Fine, let's carry on what we can do. So I was talking about that in these experiments from the parents, how many offsprings are showing one type of trait, how many offsprings are following another trait. For that, we need a data. Data, you understand, na, in statistical analysis. Data, सुना है आपने? Collection of data in the statistical analysis. Okay, fine. So this is a kind of a data that we need to collect and infer from that. Some inferences to be made from those data collection and data analysis. जैसे आप कोई एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हो तो उसमें 3 या 4 रीडिंग्स लेते हो और एवरेज रखते हो उसमें से, समथिंग लाइक दैट. Now, do you take one reading and confirm the results? No, you take 4 5 readings and then the average you make out. Similarly, here, more the number of seeds and more the number of offsprings from one generation to another, more the data collected, quantity point of view. And that would be better for analysis and interpretation. आप किसी चीज का आप सर्वे कर रहे हो तो आप 10 लोगों से सर्वे करके इंफॉर्मेशन गैदर करते हो और एवरेज निकालते हो कि 8 पीपल लाइक दिस थिंग एंड 2 पीपल लाइक द अदर थिंग. उसकी जगह पे आप 1000 पीपल का सर्वे करोगे तो आपको रिजल्ट्स थोड़े और बेटर मिलेंगे, उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन और बेटर होगा. So my point was to emphasize on the fact that for these kind of experiments where data is to be analyzed statistically, better to have a large number of observations, and they are possible because of large number of seeds produced at the time of reproduction. Last but not the least, distinct traits of most characters in this plant, in a pea plant, for large number of characters, the traits are very distinct, so very easy to classify them into this or that category. Jaise, let me explain. Few characters of this plant and their traits. Number one, have a look at it. I will give you the character and its 2 possible traits in the garden pea plant. Have a look at this one. Number one, seed shape. So in a pea plant, the seeds can have 2 different types of shapes. Either they are round or they are wrinkled. That is the clear cut. Now you can make out either the seed is round or else it is wrinkled. कोई तीसरा overlapping trait नहीं है. Similarly, seed color. Either the color of the seed is yellow, that is the trait, yellow trait for the seed color, or else green for the seed color. So these are the 2 traits for the seed color. Another one, for the flower color, either the pea plant flower are purple in or violet in color, or else they are colorless, or you may call it as the white in color. 2 clear cut traits. कोई ambiguity, कोई in between status नहीं है. ये इसका बेनिफिट था. सो क्लासिफिकेशन में, काउंटिंग में क्लैरिटी रहती है. या तो 10 flowers with the violet flower and 2 with white, या 2 with white और 10 with white and 2 with violet. क्लैरिटी रहती है. ऐसा नहीं कि एक प्लांट के ऊपर कुछ फ्लावर्स वायोलेट और कुछ व्हाइट, तो उसको कौन सी कैटेगरी में रखोगे? डिफरेंट रहेगा ना वो प्रॉब्लम. सो देयर वाज अ क्लियर कट demarcation of the traits for most of the characters in a pea plant. Another such character, pod shape. Pod is a fruit of a legume. So either it is full, वो swollen होता है ऐसा, or it is constricted like this. जैसे गुजराती में अगर मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन कर दूं, વટાણાનો પોડ તમે જુઓ ને તો ફૂલેલું હોય અને તુવેરનું પોડ જુઓ ને તો તમે constricted હોય. You see, per seed वहां पे constriction आ जाता है. Anyways, either the pod shape is full or swollen, or else the second possibility is that it is constricted. Full oblique swollen, other option constricted. Then comes pod color itself. It can be green trait, it can be yellow trait. फिर आता है फ्लावर पोजीशन. अच्छा, ये फ्लावर है, अरे ये प्लांट है, तो उसमें फ्लावर दो पोजीशन पे हो सकता है. एक्सियल, जैसे देखिए यहाँ पे लीव्स है, तो उसकी एक्सिल में यहाँ पे फ्लावर बॉर्न हुआ है. whereas here flower is born at the tip of the branch, that is called terminal apical. Axial oblique lateral, that's the one below the leaf, in the axial of the leaf, and second is terminal oblique apical at the tip of the branch. So या तो flower axial category में grow करते हैं या तो फिर apical position पे grow करते हैं, ऐसा. So that was another one. Position of a flower as a character having axial or terminal traits, that's a traits or expressions. And last but not the least, the height of the stem. Either tall with 2 meters or as dwarf with almost 1.5 meters or 1 meter in between. Dwarf one. Now, this is what I was talking about as the last point in the previous topic. I said that garden pea plant, the Pisum sativum, a very good selection of a plant to study the inheritance that was done by Mendel. Reason being, the plant which is having bisexual flowers can be utilized as a male as well as female. The plant which is preferring naturally self-fertilization, but as and when induced, it can also go for cross-fertilization. The one with a very short lifespan and having large number of progeny or the seeds produced at the time of reproduction. And last but not the least, several characters in a pea plant with their two distinct traits, easily recognizable traits. These are the features of a pea plant over here. I hope you have written the points which I have dictated. Have you? It's a good thing on your part. Giving you 5 minutes more, 5 minutes extra to note down the character and the two types of traits for each character. Of course, you don't need to draw this thing. ये draw नहीं करना है आपको, ये draw नहीं हो सकता आपसे. आपको जो करना है वो सिर्फ एक ही चीज करना है कि इन characters का जो list है वो आप prepare करें below your given topic. आपने जो topic लिखा है उसके below इस characters के list को entry करें आप. एक आपका पेज है तो उस पेज में ऐसे कॉलम बना दीजिए. यहाँ पे कैरेक्टर लिखिए, यहाँ पे डोमिनेंट ट्रेट, यहाँ पे रेसेसिव ट्रेट लिखिए, यहाँ पे लिखिए सीड शेप, यहाँ पे लिखिए राउंड, यहाँ पे लिखिए रिंकल्ड, यहाँ पे दूसरा लिखिए सीड कलर yellow and green, like that. Just make a list of 7 characters and their 2 possible traits. Theory part only, no diagram required. I give you 5 minutes for the same. Please start writing. Madam.
हाँ सर.
ઓકે ના ચાલશે. ચાલો પાછું બંધ કરશો ને કંઈક પ્રોબ્લેમ નહીં આવે ને?
ના સ્ટોપ કરી દો સર, વાંધો નહીં.
હા, તો 5 minutes recording should stop. Let us understand. Now let us understand the experimental part. See, Mendel performed hybridization experiments. The first in the sequence which we have to learn are called as monohybridization experiments. In this, what will happen is he crossed two pea plants, which were having different expression of their character. For example, if I have a pea plant with a purple or violet flower and I cross it with the pea plant having white flower, such a cross is called as hybridization. Particularly when these two plants are different in a single character traits, it is known as monohybridization. Another example, if the cross is carried out, reproduction is carried out between the two plants, one tall pea plant and another one dwarf pea plant, it is known as monohybridization. Hybridization between two plants which are differing in expression of one character is called as monohybridization. It will help the scientists to understand the inheritance of a single character at a time. Now, who will define monohybridization and its significance? What is monohybridization and what is the significance? Who will go through that? Unmute करके कौन बोलेगा? I am repeating this thing. Note down if you want. I will ask you after this explanation one more time. I am repeating. A cross or a reproduction or a cross carried out between the two plants which are differing in the traits of a same character. Which are differing in the traits of a same character. Example, cross between tall pea plant as well as with dwarf pea plant. Cross between the pea plant with the violet flower versus the one with the white flower. That is called as monohybridization. It will help to understand the inheritance of a single character at a time. चलो कौन बोलेगा what is monohybridization and example and what is its significance? Who will reply for the same? Monohybridization is a cross. Nandini, बोलिए आप.
Yes, sir. So monohybridization is a cross or reproduction carried out between two plants differing in a trait of the same character. For example, cross between the two pea plants, one which has a white flower and the other which has a violet flower. The significance is that it helps to understand the inheritance of a single plant at a time.
Inheritance of a single character in the plant at a time. Excellent.
At a time.
Overall, excellent one. Yeah, excellent. So again, I repeat, those who have not written, please note down. A cross between the two plants differing in the traits or expressions of a single character. Example, a cross between pea plants in which one has a round seed, another one has a wrinkled seed. Or a pea plant with the one with the axial flower to be crossed with another one with the terminal flowers. Such cross will help to understand inheritance of a single character at a time, at a given point of time in the given plant. That is the monohybridization experiments. And through such experiments, Mendel worked out the laws of inheritance, the understanding of inheritance over there. That's how. There are steps which are involved in this experiment. I will explain those steps in one step, the plants are supposed to carry out cross fertilization. And in another step of these experiments, plants have to carry out self-fertilization. First, cross-fertilization to be carried out. Second, self-fertilization to be carried out. I think I informed you about this fact that in a pea plant, in experiments, two stages are there. At one stage, cross-breeding is required, cross-fertilization is required, and at another stage, self-fertilization required. And you know that this is a natural preference of the plant. So at this stage, plant is left naturally for reproduction. It will go for self. But for this stage, this is supposed to be an induced one. You know now, induced cross fertilization. So how this induced cross fertilization used to be carried out by Mendel? So by that time, the patterns were clear. The patterns were known as emasculation and bagging method. You remember that? Emasculation and bagging. You have learned in the same year, second chapter. So the one in which this happens like this, if you want to use one plant as a female plant and another one as a male plant, आपको याद होगा तो. In case of female plant, you have to carry out emasculation in order to remove its, anthers in a birth stage with the help of forceps and scissors, remove its anthers. Remove its anthers. So no longer it can carry out self-fertilization. Then you have to tie up one bag around this, covering it. That is called as bagging. And at some suitable stages, when stigma is receptive enough, open up its bag, transfer the pollen grain from the other one that is used as a male partner, transfer to its stigma. Once done, again rebagging. I hope you remember, again rebagging. This is how you can ensure that this plant is used as a male, this one is used as a female, and they are carrying out a cross fertilization. Seeds इसके ऊपर आएंगे, female plant के ऊपर आएंगे. ये तो सिर्फ पोलन दे रहा है. ये स्टिग्मा और स्टाइल और फिर उसमें से ओवरी में से बाद में ओवरी में सीड्स प्रोड्यूस करेगा. So I think you are clear with the way the induced hybridization is carried out between the two plants. Step one, in a female plant, emasculation and bagging. Later, transfer of pollen from the male flower and again rebagging. That is how you ensure cross fertilization. Do you remember that? Yes or no? Fine. So for example, if I have to use these two plants, this is the one plant, let's say tall plant, and this is the dwarf plant. And if I'm going to use this one as a female and this one as a male, can you tell me in which plant, either tall or dwarf, in which plant I will carry out emasculation if I have to carry out hybridization in them? कौन से प्लांट में emasculation करना पड़ेगा और bagging? All are wrong. Right from Nandini till the last girl Khushi. All in between 10 to 12 students are wrong. Whenever there is an artificial hybridization, One plant will be used as a male, another one will be used as a female. The one which is used as a female, in that bisexual flower, you have to remove its anthers by emasculation, and you have to carry out bagging to avoid input of any unwanted pollen. क्या आपको इतना नहीं समझ में आया? चैप्टर 2 में पढ़ाया, आज भी अभी पढ़ाया, फिर भी नहीं समझ में आया? वो पर्पल फ्लावर वाला और वायलेट फ्लावर वाला फीमेल प्लांट था, उसमें ही हमने इमैस्कुलेशन एंड बैगिंग मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया था. नॉट क्लियर? Those who had written dwarf plant, at least you people write down if you have understood. Okay, no sir, now it is clear. ड्वार्फ प्लांट को अगर आप मेल जैसे यूज करने वाले हो तो उसमें से तो सिर्फ पोलन आएगा. यहां पे इमैस्कुलेशन एंड बैगिंग किस में करना पड़ेगा? इट विल बी डन इन अ टॉल प्लांट, isn't it, if it is to be used as a female plant. आप सिर्फ साइज देखा, टॉल है तो उसके पोलन मिलने चाहिए, बस आपके माइंड में ये है. अब देखो टॉल को हम कैसे यूज कर रहे हैं, फीमेल, तो उसमें हमें इमैस्कुलेशन एंड बैगिंग करना पड़ेगा ऐसा. एंड देन seeds will be available from which plant, tall or dwarf? In this experiment, seeds will be available from which plant, tall or dwarf? Naturally, tall plant. ये तो मेल प्लांट है ड्वार्फ, उसको तो सिर्फ सोर्स ऑफ पोलन कंसिडर करने का. एग इनसाइड द ओवरी विल बी फ्रॉम टॉल, तो वहां पे सीड्स डेवलप हो गए. Those seeds will be grown for a next generation. That generation is allowed for self-fertilization to reach to another generation. So a typical monohybridization experiment होता है ऐसा. कैरेक्टर चेंज होता है. यहाँ पे हाइट कैरेक्टर है तो प्योर ड्वार्फ वर्सेस प्योर टॉल को कंसिडर किया. अगर कलर ऑफ द फ्लावर होगा कैरेक्टर, तो वहां पे वायलेट फ्लावर एंड व्हाइट फ्लावर का क्रॉस रहेगा, उनके प्लांट्स का क्रॉस रहेगा. पोजीशन ऑफ फ्लावर होगी तो एक्सियल वर्सेस टर्मिनल वाले दो प्लांट के बीच में क्रॉस होके आगे जाएगा. प्रोसीजर रिमेन्स सेम. अच्छा, सेल्फ फर्टिलाइजेशन के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे इस जनरेशन के साथ? व्हाट इज टू बी डन? अगर ये जनरेशन के साथ क्रॉस फर्टिलाइजेशन करना था तो इमैस्कुलेशन एंड बैगिंग किया हमने, फिर पोलन ट्रांसफर एंड रीबैगिंग किया, बाद में सीड्स मिले, ग्रो हुए, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन मिला. How will we let this generation reproduce in a self fertilization? हमें क्या करना चाहिए इसमें? आस्था गोखले, करेक्ट आंसर. शी हैज रिटन नथिंग. हमें इन प्लांट्स को ग्रो करने के लिए छोड़ देना चाहिए, बिकॉज नेचुरली जब वो रिप्रोड्यूस करते हैं ना, तो मेजोरिटी गो फॉर विच वन? सेल्फ फर्टिलाइजेशन. क्रॉस तो जब हमें इंटरवीन करना है, क्रॉस करना है, तो हमें इंड्यूस करना पड़ता है. सेल्फ फर्टिलाइजेशन इज a natural preference in this plant. So without any interference, on its own it will go for self fertilization और ये सीड प्रोड्यूस करेगा, जो सीड्स को ग्रो करके हम नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को ऑब्टेन करेंगे. Are you all clear with the concept of monohybridization experiment carried out by Mendel? Typical Mendelian monohybridization experiments. Clear? Two more aspects of this setup. हम ये सेटअप को अंडरस्टैंड कर रहे हैं, उसमें ये लर्न किया कितनी जनरेशन्स आएगी, ये लर्न किया कितने टाइप के रिप्रोडक्शंस किए जाएंगे. अब इन जनरेशन्स को नेम देते हैं हम. The generation with which the experiment is gonna start is considered as P generation. P stands for parental generation. लिख लो, P stands for parental generation. The generation with which we go next after the cross fertilization of parents, the generation which we get, this one I am talking about, is accepted as F1 generation. यहां पे F का मीनिंग होता है फिलियन. फिलियन मीन्स प्रोजेनी, चिल्ड्रन, प्रोजेनी, ऑफस्प्रिंग्स, सन, क्या क्या भी बोलो, इसका मीनिंग सेम रहता है. So first generation of progeny from the parents, that is termed as F1 generation, Filion generation number 1. क्या है ये? ग्रीक टर्म है. ग्रीक लैंग्वेज में फिलियन का मीनिंग होता है सन. फिर F1 जनरेशन के, देखो, पेरेंटल जनरेशन के क्रॉस फर्टिलाइजेशन से F1 जनरेशन मिलती है, फर्स्ट जनरेशन ऑफ फिलियन. F1 जनरेशन के F1 जनरेशन के सेल्फ फर्टिलाइजेशन से जो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन ऑब्टेन होती है उसको F2 कहते हैं. इट स्टैंड्स फॉर सेकंड जनरेशन ऑफ फिलियन. हैव यू अंडरस्टूड? चलो, ये पॉइंट भी क्लियर आपका. एक और पॉइंट पे फोकस करते हैं. ये जो हमने लर्न किया ना, व्हाट इज मोनोहाइब्रिडाइजेशन, व्हाई इट इज कैरिड आउट, and what are the steps involved in reproduction, and which are the generation and how many generations are involved. You see, parental generation is selected, बाद में तो प्रोड्यूस होते हैं. तो parental and F1 and F2. एक और पॉइंट लर्न करते हैं रिगार्डिंग द पेरेंटल जनरेशन. पॉइंट इज दैट parental generation is supposed to be pure for its expression of the character. अगर वो टॉल है तो इट शुड बी अ प्योर टॉल. अगर वो ड्वार्फ है तो इट शुड बी व्हाट? प्योर ड्वार्फ. मींस कोई और कैरेक्टर लेते हैं, जैसे वायलेट फ्लावर एंड व्हाइट फ्लावर. तो द प्लांट्स व्हिच आर selected as a parent generation, they are first of all developed as a pure plant, and they are taken up as a P generation, parent generation plants in a given experiment. अगर कलर ऑफ द फ्लावर होता तो उसके लिए प्योर वायलेट प्लांट वर्सेस प्योर व्हाइट फ्लावर कंटेनिंग प्लांट का क्रॉस किया जाता. नॉट एन इम्प्योर व्हाइट एंड impure violet. It should be pure white versus pure violet. I hope you have understood. How many have not understood? Acha. Dhruvi Patel, which part not clear? I appreciate your courage to clarify this thing, that you are not clear with this thing. What is not clear? You understand that in this monohybridization experiment, the two parent plants we have to take, both are different in expression of a one character. एक particular trait रखता है तो दूसरा particular trait रखता है. जैसे यहाँ पे character considered is which one? आपको जो experiment दिखा है उसमें character considered is which one? Tell me, all of you. कौन से character का consideration है? Height character का. Yes, you are right. और हाइट के कितने ट्रेट्स होते हैं पी प्लांट में? 2. कौन से? टॉल एंड ड्वार्फ. तो डू यू टेक any plant which is tall and any plant which is dwarf, or you take pure tall plant and pure dwarf plant as the parent? तो आंसर is pure. तो ये कंपल्शन है कि मेंडेलियन एक्सपेरिमेंट्स में, मोनोहाइब्रिडाइजेशन में या कोई भी हाइब्रिडाइजेशन एक्सपेरिमेंट में, generation with which you start the experiment has to be called as a parent generation. must be pure for the given trait. हाइट का ट्रेट हो तो अगर टॉलनेस है तो उसको प्योर टॉल होना पड़ता है, या फिर अगर ड्वार्फनेस है तो इट इज सपोज टू बी प्योर ड्वार्फ, with which only you can start the experiment. My point is that what do we mean by being pure in the given trait? तो आप ऐसा सोचो कि मुझे अगर प्योर टॉल प्लांट चाहिए तो 6 to 8 जनरेशंस तक मैं क्या करूंगा, टॉल प्लांट का सेल्फ फर्टिलाइजेशन में अलाउ करूंगा। उससे कैसे प्लांट मिलेंगे, टॉल प्लांट। उसका सेल्फ फर्टिलाइजेशन से क्या मिलेगा, टॉल प्लांट। उसके सेल्फ फर्टिलाइजेशन से क्या मिलेगा, टॉल प्लांट। उसके सेल्फ फर्टिलाइजेशन से, ऐसा 5 to 6 जनरेशंस तक मैं टॉल प्लांट में सेल्फिंग करता रहा हूं और नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को भी मैं सेल्फिंग करके ही आगे ले जाऊं, तब जाके एक बार डेवलप होता है प्योर टॉल प्लांट। मींस since many generations for the given character only one trait is available in this successive generation, तो उसको जाके मैं कौन सा प्लांट बोल सकता हूं, प्योर टॉल प्लांट बोल सकता हूं। हाउ मेनी आर क्लियर विद दिस कंसेप्ट? वो पता है ना, इनब्रीडिंग ऐसा। अब ऐसा सोचो कि मुझे प्योर ड्वार्फ प्लांट चाहिए, तो मैं कैसे डेवलप कर सकता हूं प्योर ड्वार्फ? So what I am supposed to do is I have to take a dwarf plant, फिर उसको सेल्फिंग करके नेक्स्ट जनरेशन मिलेगी जिसमें सभी ड्वार्फ प्लांट्स मिलेंगे। उन ड्वार्फ प्लांट्स का भी सेल्फिंग करके मैं नेक्स्ट जनरेशन ऑब्टेन करके ड्वार्फ प्लांट मिलेंगे, उनका भी नेक्स्ट जनरेशन पे सेल्फिंग करके ड्वार्फ प्लांट। ऐसे 4 to 6 जनरेशंस तक inbreeding in the dwarf plant will lead to development of a variety which is to be known as pure dwarf plant. Means that dwarf plant whose 4 to 6 prior generations have never produced tall, they have always produced which variety, dwarf variety. इसको क्या कहते हैं, प्योर ड्वार्फ प्लांट। बोलो, पता चला क्या आपको? तो ये जो प्लांट लिया है वो रैंडमली तो नहीं आया होगा। हैव यू अंडरस्टूड? मेंडल के पास बहुत सारे प्लांट्स हो गए, उसमें से उन्होंने टॉल प्लांट्स को पिक किया होगा, कहीं पे ड्वार्फ को पिक किया, फिर वो टॉल में से नेक्स्ट जनरेशन टॉल, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन टॉल, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन टॉल, वैसे ड्वार्फ में से नेक्स्ट जनरेशन ड्वार्फ, नेक्स्ट ड्वार्फ, नेक्स्ट ड्वार्फ, ऐसे करते करते उन्होंने प्योर रेसिस डेवलप किए। हाउ मेनी आर क्लियर विद दिस? एक कैरेक्टर की दो लाइंस, प्योर लाइंस को डेवलप किया, एक कैरेक्टर की दो प्योर लाइंस को डेवलप किया। तो ऐसे कितने कैरेक्टर्स उन्होंने पिक किए थे? हाउ मेनी कैरेक्टर्स वर पिक्ड बाय मेंडल इन हिज एक्सपेरिमेंट्स? 7 characters, and for each characters how many traits are there? 2. So उनको टोटल कितनी प्योर लाइंस डेवलप की हुई होगी? हाउ मेनी? 14. Yes, Hitat is the one. हितात का करेक्ट आंसर देने में स्ट्राइक रेट मैक्सिमम, मैन ऑफ द मैच फॉर द डे। हर कैरेक्टर के उन्होंने 2 प्योर लाइंस को डेवलप किया। हर कैरेक्टर के 2 ट्रेड्स के लिए, जैसे एक प्लांट पी प्लांट है तो उसमें प्योर राउंड सीड्स और दूसरे पी प्लांट में प्योर रिंकल्ड सीड्स वाले 2 प्लांट डेवलप किया। फिर सीड कलर के लिए एक पी प्लांट डेवलप किया जिसमें प्योर येलो और दूसरे में प्योर ग्रीन हो। लाइक वाइज 1 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 ऐसे टोटल 14 pure lines were developed by him. How many pure lines were developed by him? 14 continuous self pollination से आप स्टेबल ट्रेट इनहेरिटेंस एंड एक्सप्रेशन को ऑब्टेन करते हो. I repeat my line. How do you develop true breeding line? Such 14 lines were developed. Pure lines. इसके लिए word use होता है pure lines. So how do you develop pure lines or true breeding lines or P generation plants? How do you develop so? So that is done through continuous self-pollination and the establishing stable trait inheritance over the several generations, 4 to 6 generations. 4 to 6 generations inbreeding and same trait is inherited again and again. So after that, you say the last developed line is a pure line. That's how it has to be understood. Anyone not clear with the pure line concept, true breeding line concept? Yes, tell me just now if not clear. Otherwise, confusion रहेगा. अच्छा, all are clear? I assume you all are clear as you have not replied for the previous question, not clear wala. I go back to that experiment. Now we will see the experiment, actual experiment. So Mendel picked one pure tall variety of a pea plant, one pure dwarf variety of pea plant, respectively as a female and male. Through artificial hybridization, crossed them, and fertilization took place. The pure tall plant, which was taken as a female parent plant, it produced seeds, which he saw in the soil. After few days, they germinated into a plant. All of them were found to be tall plants. Interesting observation. All of them were found to be tall plants. Those plants, they were allowed to go for self-fertilization. These F1 generation plants, first filion generation, first generation of offsprings, they were allowed to go for development, that is the self-fertilization activity, and produce the seeds. Those seeds were sown by Mendel and next generation was obtained. This generation was given the name F2. And he found that in that generation, out of every 4 plant, 3 were tall and 1 was a dwarf plant. 75% offsprings in F2 generation had tall plants and 25% offspring had a dwarf nature. Interestingly, Mendel did it for all the 7 characters. For each character, he had 2 pure lines. So 7 such monohybridization setups were there. And in every case out of those 7 setups, in each case, out of proportion of 100, 75% to 25%, 3:1 ratio prevailed, where 3 of them had a one trait expression, other one had a another trait expression in the F2 generation. जैसे अगर height was a character, in F1 all tall, in F2 3 tall and 1 dwarf. I repeat my explanation. आप में से किसी को बोलना पड़ेगा रिमेनिंग 6 के लिए 1 by 1 6 स्टूडेंट्स को. तो जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स है लेने वाले पार्ट, वो इस लैंग्वेज को अंडरस्टैंड कर दो. For the character of height, stem height in a pea plant, in F1 generation, all were found to be tall. In F2, 3 tall to 1 dwarf ratio was obtained. Who will speak like this for the next character? Stem, a flower position. Who will speak like that? For the character of height, in F1, all were tall. In F2, 3 were tall and 1 was dwarf. Vanshika, बोलिए आप.
Yes.
Flower position.
In F1,
ना 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 नहीं नहीं नहीं. आप लोग फिर से सुनिए. What I'm saying. रुद्र बोलिए. रुद्र शाह या हर्षिल. रुद्र and हर्षिल.
For a character of flower position, in F1, all were axial. In F2, 3 axial and 1 terminal was obtained.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Harshil, pod color.
For a character of pod color, in F1 generation, all are green. In F2 generation, three are green and 1 are yellow.
Excellent. वंशिका आप ट्राई करोगे आप?
yes, for pod shape in F1,
No,
all
no,
were
no, 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 no. Next, Dhruvi Patel.
Yes, sir. For pod shape.
Huh?
For character of pod shape in F1 generation, in F1 generation all are full, and in F2 generation 3 are full and 1 is constricted.
Correct. Next कौन था? तन्वी या कुछ थे और जो भी है. Who is next?
For character of flower color, in F1 generation, all are violet in color, and in F2 generation, 3 are violet and 1 is white.
Correct. वंशिका आप फिर से ट्राई करोगे आप?
yes, sir. For the character of seed color, in F1 generation, all were yellow, while in F2 generation, 3 were yellow and 1 was green.
Absolutely. आप लोग अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऐसा रखिए. जब हम बोलते हैं ना all were yellow, तो it is meaning is that all plants had a yellow seeds. ऐसा समझ में आया आप लोगों को? When we say all had an axial flower, so all pea plants in that generation had an axial flower. How many have understood this thing? The setup of his experiment, the generations, the selection of plants as parents, kind of reproduction. The first one is supposed to be cross fertilization. Subsequent one was supposed to be the self fertilization. The generation with which you start the experiment is to be called as the parental generation. The next one which you get through their cross fertilization is supposed to be F1 generation, first filial generation. Through the self fertilization of that, what you get is the F2 generation. The parental generation is supposed to be pure line members. How can you get the pure line? The pure line is something which you develop over several generations by letting them go for inbreeding, self-pollination, and selecting the plants with only one particular trait. This is how through selective breeding you can develop the stable trait. That stable trait showing plant is the pure variety for the given trait. Such pure varieties are taken. Mendel had developed totally 14 such pure lines for 7 different characters in pea plant. And for each character, he had a set of 2 pure lines carrying out the monohybridization. And here were those 7 characters selected. And in each case, he found that out of the 2 traits, F1 generation shows only 1 trait, which he considered as a dominant trait. And in F2 generation, both the traits appear, one dominant and one recessive. but they appear in the ratio of 3:1, 3 plants showing one trait, whereas 1 plant showing another trait. That much was the observation made by Mendel in his experiment. चलिए, यहां तक कोई डाउट है आपको इस पोर्शन तक, एक्सपेरिमेंट तक? Now, one important announcement to be made before we wind up, revise and wind up. We are not going forward in the experiment further. Okay, what was his conclusion from this study? That will be our next lecture. All of you, please remember this thing. Now onwards, we are taking extra lectures in this week and subsequent weeks until the next instruction comes. I'm informing you regarding the extra lectures of biology in this and coming weeks until the next instruction comes. Extra lectures will be taken on MWF. Joining time is 2:45 p.m. Actual time is 3 to 4:30 p.m. This is to join. These are the lecture timings, and it will start from today itself, and you have to join using same link that you are using for joining the regular session. आज ही स्टार्ट होगा 2:45 पे हमारा नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. मैडम, स्टॉप द रिकॉर्डिंग नाउ.